That is recovery tools that actually work when you need them. When craving hits, when your anger spikes, when you get set off, you don't need a quote, you don't need a lecture. You need something that's going to work in real time, in real life. And that's what we're going to try to help you find today. Welcome back to Start the Conversation. And today we're joined by special guest, Miss Laura. She is our awesome clinical director. So thank you for coming on this morning, Laura. I'm your host, Dalton, and this is Start the Conversation, where we talk about real stories of recovery, the success, the failure, the good times, the bad times, and we really just try to give you some hope, give you some direction, and see what we can do to help you down the path of recovery. We are Resolutions Healthcare, but we're filming this right now from Hidden Oaks, our inpatient facility in Chatfield, Texas. You can see all that. You can look us up online. Just go to resolutionshealthcare.com. You can see the podcast. You can see the blogs written by our CEO, Vinny Stromolo, and meet our staff and see pictures, just the whole thing, the whole shebang. Okay, and today we got a special episode for you today, one that I really think is going to be helpful, and that is recovery tools that actually work when you need them. Okay, let's be honest. When craving hits, when your anger spikes, when you get set off, you don't need a quote, you don't need a lecture. You need something that's going to work in real time, in real life, and that's what we're going to try to help you find today. If you're in recovery, save this episode. If you're struggling today, listen closely. Reach out to us. Our phone number is 469-614-8407. You don't have to do this alone. We're going to talk about some things, some good things in here, and one of them is that you need connection. You need community. Addiction wants you isolated, but community solves that issue, okay? It's a little bit deeper than that, so let's get into it. Our first segment is why willpower isn't enough. Addiction doesn't fail because people fail to want sobriety badly enough. It fails because stress hijacks the brain. When you get set off, when you get mad, when you're lonely, when you're scared, when you're stressed, your emotions take over. Your rational brain goes on the back burner and your emotional brain takes over.
And the negative dialogue that lives in our head, we fostered that for years upon years, sometimes decades upon decades. And that's a comfortable go-to. I might be doing all the right things and making progress, but if I get in that down time and that stress comes on me, I'm going to automatically revert back to that negative dialogue because that's a comfortable friend.
Right.
That's been there forever.
Right.
And something that you mentioned about, I don't even remember now what you said, but it brought up the thought in my brain that people, for the majority, do really well in recovery, in treatment. There's
Community.
structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's structure. There's knowing what comes next.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it the antibiotic effect. I don't even know where it is on our notes, but we do something for a short time, but we only do it until we feel better. If we get a script from the doctor for an antibiotic, most of us take it until we feel better, and then we stash the leftovers just in case those symptoms come on again.
Right.
We don't usually do it for the 10 days that it's prescribed. We do that with exercise. We will, New Year's resolution, LA Fitness right now, 24-hour fitness, they're the happiest companies under the sun right now.
Right.
But come about, March 1st, they're going to be handing out those memberships for pennies on the dollar because people won't be consistent with it.
Yeah.
We get comfortable, we feel better, and then we get away from what made us comfortable and better. And people come to treatment 30 days, which does not, a life change make, but they're doing things differently. They're staying away from their drug of choice. they're retraining that negative dialogue in their brain. They're picking up, learning to do the next right thing.
Yeah.
But then as soon as they get home, it's that pink cloud recovery, and that stuff's like cotton candy. So you're flying on cloud nine when you get out. Well, here comes family, here comes job, here comes responsibility, bills, stress, worry. And that pink cloud can melt like cotton candy in water,
Right.
and it's gone.
Yeah.
And you get away from doing the things that you did in treatment that were productive, that worked.
Right.
And that's what our list today is talking about. Those things that we foster in here, that we promote in here, that actually make you feel better, that actually make you think a different way. The things that actually work. But how many clients have we seen that kind of park their tool belt in the closet when they get home?
Right.
And then that stress, that worry, that negativity, that doubt, that shame and guilt comes right back in, and they run to that comfortable place.
Right. Yeah. I tell the clients that a toolbox is good, a toolbox is handy, but if you never open it, it's just you're carrying around a dead weight.
It's a
And
lot of
carrying
weight.
around that dead weight is going to make you want to turn back. So that's why willpower isn't enough. You need tools, not intentions. Everybody can be sober when they're in treatment for the most part. But then, they ain't got this trigger, they don't have that trigger to deal with. They don't have to pass the liquor store every day home, every
Don't
day
have
on the way
family
home.
nagging them.
Right.
Don't have bills that they got to worry about in that moment.
Yeah, it's easy to be strong and say you got it all and have that willpower while you're in here, but the reality is it's just not enough. You need more than willpower. Recovery isn't about being stronger, it's about being prepared. Now we're going to talk about the 90-second rule. I love this one. I've been using this one a lot lately in my own life. It's a simple tool. A lot of times, cravings rise and fall like a wave, and sometimes that can last only between 60 and 90 seconds. Some of the stronger, more serious cravings can be a bit longer than that. A big bit longer than that. But a lot of them we face, like I'll just speak on my life. I don't have the craving to go use drugs anymore, but I do have, when my anger gets set off, I do have the craving to want to snap back and raise a fist and raise my voice and do all that. But if I'll practice this 90-second rule, when the urge hits, the 90-second rule is to say this out loud. I'm not going to do anything for the next 90 seconds. And then stop, breathe in and out, and don't act on anything for 90 seconds. Just stand there with a blank face. And then after that 90 seconds, see if you still want to go off of that first thought. What do you think about that?
Well, and it's practice the pause. We talk about that all the time. Practice the pause. If something comes up, just pause for a second. Our emotional brain will tell us we need to act immediately.
Right.
That usually ends in a not so favorable outcome for addicts and alcoholics. We are knee-jerk driven. And if we can practice that pause, I'm not going to do anything for the next 90 seconds. If we'll start to process, the clients that have come through here, they know about the cloud processing.
Yeah.
You get an emotion, it comes up, identify what it is. Are you angry, or are you feeling disrespected? Are you anxious, or are you just feeling stressed or excited? Whatever it is, identify it, stick it on a cloud. Yeah. Because we've all watched clouds go across the sky. Well, while that cloud is traveling, process it. Stick it on the cloud, process it. Where'd this come from? Why am I feeling this way? Okay, what's my ownership in it? How did I foster this? What am I benefiting from feeling this way? And it's moving across. And as it gets over here, you've taken the time to process it. The trigger, the craving, is usually dissipated by then, and you've processed the emotion that caused it. Practice the pause. I mean, just learn to stop.
Yeah, just stop. Just wait a minute. Hold up. Hit the brakes. The way out is often waiting long enough. What we got to do? Just wait long enough. Don't act. Don't do anything stupid, and it's gonna pass. But that emotional brain says, let's do something right now.
And then it starts coming up with all them little negative demons.
Yeah.
And the shame and the guilt, the blame, it all comes on because those are our comfortable BFFs that
Yeah.
we've lived with forever. And
sure.
sometimes in that pause, if we aren't processing, if we're not keeping our brain active on doing something, just we're pausing, but we're processing exactly what we're going through. Here comes that negative dialogue. Here comes those negative emotion. Here comes the shame and guilt. Here comes them little demons like a bad movie.
Yeah.
That start chipping away at us. And we want relief from that. And where is that off button? Where is that disconnect? It's back in the drugs and alcohol.
We know.
Yeah.
So willpower isn't enough. The 90-second rule. And the next one is HALT.
Mm-hmm.
This is, most relapses come down to one thing. You were hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
Or all them.
You speak on this one, Laura.
Well, just to take it at face value, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If I'm hungry, and it's the middle of the night, I'm not gonna want to go someplace by myself. So I'm gonna reach out to somebody, right? Because I want a partner in crime. I want somebody to
Somebody
ride along. Yeah, somebody to do that with. If we're staying on a good diet, and I hate the word diet, if we're staying on a good food regimen, meal regimen.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah, it does, don't it? But it is what it is, because diet, as soon as we say diet, then it's like, oh, hell no, I'm going to get that ice cream. You tell me I can't have it.
Right.
But if we just stay on a good food regimen and we're setting a time that we eat each day. And I'm right there with you. There's, what is it? Doctors say you're supposed to eat 6 small times a day. There's not 6 times a day I want to put food in my mouth. I got too much going on, and it just doesn't sound appealing. But if we don't let ourselves get to that ravenous hungry, oh man, I'm starving to death. And we don't sensationalize what we're feeling. But if we get hungry, like in the middle of the night, we want a buddy to go with us. Well, we're going to reach out to people who are up at that time of night, and it ain't the ones that are productive and have jobs and have to get up in the morning.
Well, you could have it's not really connected to this. You could have reached out to me last night, and I would have gave you Letty, because she woke up at 11:30, and her first words was, "I'm hungry, Dada." And then as soon as she woke up this morning, "I'm hungry." I don't know. I guess she's growing, but
Yeah.
muffins and pancakes were the first thing on the meal plan this morning.
Oh, I love it. Angry. So hungry, angry. When we get into negative emotions, it doesn't have to be just anger. It can be that shame and guilt. It can be that, just, the disrespect that we've gone through, the feeling discounted by others. When we start parking off in those angry emotions, we know where the disconnect is. We don't want to feel that way. We have felt that way for far too long, and we're tired of it, and we don't want to feel that way. But we reach back to the source that disconnects us,
Right.
drugs and alcohol. It creates more shame and guilt, anger, disgust. Lonely. That one's self-explanatory. If you're lonely, we need to surround ourselves with community. We need the fellowship of others, even if it's just, for lack of a better term, shooting the shit with somebody that has gone through the same thing we have. We need that fellowship in that community. And then, as we talk about with the clients here, and we've worked on our own, when you feel that void, FILL, when you feel that void that's within you, that lonely doesn't come around as much as it used to. Right. It's only when we've got a huge hole in us and we're trying to fill it with something, that lonely kicks in, and we will park in that emotion. Right. We'll park in that feeling, and we don't want to feel that. And if we go out and we're partying like rock stars, well, we're going to have plenty of people around us who are partying like rock stars too. Yeah. And then the tired, just structure. We don't need to run ourselves ragged. Meth heads, 3 days, 12 days, whatever. And then the crash, and then we get up and do it again. Yeah. And so hungry, angry, lonely, tired, that's that antibiotic effect. Once you do something that's working, we'll only do it for a time, and then we quit. And then we wonder what went wrong, because you quit your structure. You moved away from your structure. You moved away from your routine. You moved away from what was helping. Because the famous last words of a dumbass addict,
Well,
I got this.
tomato, tomato.
Yeah, I got this. That's the worst thing you could ever think or tell yourself.
Yeah.
We did my podcast, and 19 years later, I'll never tell myself I got this, because I don't.
Right.
The drugs are way more powerful
Way
than anything
bigger.
I've got.
Yeah.
But that's hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If we can just stay structured, if we can stay connected and stay mindful, what's our body telling us? Your body's going to tell you when you're hungry. Your body's going to tell you when you're tired. Your body's going to tell you when you need a break. If we can be mindful and listen to that, then we don't get in those pitfalls.
Right. That's a good bit of info there. Good tip. Just listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next segment. Phone a human rule. The phone a human rule. This one saves lives. If your urge is stronger than a 5 out of 10, don't try to wop knuckle it.
You don't have to be a cowboy.
Yeah. Pick
You
up
do
the
not.
phone and call somebody. It's been, oh man, I can't remember how many years ago, but it was when COVID was at its peak. Our oldest daughter had some type of sickness going on, some viral thing, and she was in Big Baylor, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
one of them hospitals in Dallas, uh, where them city folks live, one of them places. And I went up there after work. Hillary was already up there. Derek, Lily's dad, was already up there, and there was only 2 people allowed in the hospital rooms because it was COVID. And of course, neither of them wanted to leave. I wouldn't either.
Mm.
I just happened to be the one that got there after work, and they wouldn't let me in. I couldn't get in, and I was so pissed off about it.
Mm-hmm.
I drove home, and I passed beer store after beer store, liquor store after liquor store, driving right through downtown Dallas and Deep Ellum. I knew I could go get some stuff if I wanted to. Um, but I got home. My mind was still racing. I was there by myself. Daughter's in the hospital, and I knew I needed to call somebody. I knew I needed to get out of the house, and it was late at this time. I mean, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock. This guy from church, Troy. He's a firefighter. I called him. Luckily, I called him on his day off, and he lived right down the road in Rosser. He said, "Come over. I'll put a pot of coffee on right now." And I went over to his house. We sat on the porch for 30 minutes or an hour. We didn't even really talk a whole lot. Uh, there's just somebody to sit there and, kind of like have my back and know what I was going through. Um, and yeah, I can say that I didn't do anything stupid that night, because I had somebody to reach out to.
Well, and I'm gonna throw you under the bus. You ready?
No.
um, you weren't angry. You drove that whole time home, probably fussing and cussing about being angry. They didn't let me. You weren't angry. You were hurt
Right.
because you felt discounted as her dad, because her father was there. But you've been dad, forever,
Mhm.
and you felt discounted. It wasn't anger.
That's true.
So identifying those emotions, man, big difference.
All right. Don't therapize me.
Okay, I can't.
You can't therapize me on the interweb. All right. Play the tape forward.
Oh, this is a good one.
Playing the tape. Oh man, this is good. Your brain remembers the relief, but it forgets the pain.
Absolutely. And childbirth probably is one of the best examples of this. For my own 13 and a half hours of induced labor with, that drug from the devil called Pitocin, just, I would describe it as hell. Is exactly how I would describe it. Just the pain and not knowing, and they can't tell you nothing because you're just waiting on Mother Nature and the body and whatever medicine stuff they got in you. But as soon as you see that face, and as soon as you smell that new baby smell, all that leaves you. And then you're dumb enough to do it another time, have another one and another one and another one. Same thing with relationships. We forget the yelling and screaming and fighting and stuff flying across the kitchen or whatever. And we just remember the good times. Oh, we need to be back together. Well, unless you're going to be changing things, no, you don't. Um, we forget those mornings of waking up on the bathroom floor. We forget those times of waking up in the median driving home. We forget those times of feeling like we have been just hammered all to crap, begging to die. I was right there more than once because of what I had put my body through.
Yeah.
And then we kind of hinge on that little, but you know what? That would be such a relief. I just need to disconnect for a minute. That's all I need. It's too much. I just need to disconnect for a minute. And I know just one drink.
Yeah.
Just one drink, just one hit, just one rail. It's never that for an addict or an alcoholic. And the adage that comes out of AA, one is too many and 1,000's never enough. That's true. Because our justification and our rationalization, all those monkeys running around our brain, tries to convince us we got this. I've been through treatment. I've been 31 days clean. I got this now. I can handle a drink.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't.
Right.
Because it goes into the brain, and I think it talks about it on this list somewhere. We trained ourselves for so long for that dopamine hit, for that dopamine effect.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone in there, and in our use, we rewired our brain to need the substance. Once we get away from it, that's what we work on in treatment, is rewiring our brain to not think that we need that substance to feel normal, to survive.
And it doesn't get rewired in 30 days.
No. That's an ongoing process. I think, well, for me, for a meth user, it was 3 years after I quit before I realized my brain was functioning the way it was supposed to. And that was 3 years of work in constant recovery. Every day it became a way of life, and that's the only way it was going to work.
Right. Yeah.
But we forget about all the bad times. We forget about the money, the heartache. We forget about all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we hinge on just a second in time of a feeling that we have. And we chase that.
Yeah.
That's that chasing that first high for the rest of your life. And that's what every addict and alcoholic will do. Right. Chase that first time for the rest of your life. And you'll never get it. You'll never get it. So we do more and we do more, and some of us blow ourselves up. Mm-hmm. I've buried a whole lot of people that were chasing that first high. Never got it. But that's play that tape out. Don't just play out for the next 5 minutes. Play the whole movie.
Right.
Don't just play the trailer. I think you mentioned that in one of them. The trailers always look good. Uh-huh. And that trailer is going to look really good, but play the whole movie out. Yeah. Because it's going to show you the hard part, the turmoil, the heartache. Mm-hmm. Don't just rest on that new baby smell, because they're going to be screaming at 2 a.m. and can't tell you what's wrong with them.
Right. Yeah. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Segment 6, get physical. I really connect with this one. Sometimes the problem isn't spiritual, it's biological. Your body is flooded with adrenaline, so do something physical. Some things are walk fast, push-ups, hold ice. One thing I thought was weird a while back was seeing people walking around snapping a rubber band on their wrist, a hair tie, bracelet, and it's like, why are they? Is that a tick? I mean, what is that? Why are they? But then I read it in some recovery literature about resetting the brain, getting your mind off of what's going on up here,
thinking on something else.
Thinking about something else.
Yeah.
And that's where I think get physical comes into it. It resets your nervous system. I can sit here and I can wallow in the self-pity and let the craving drive me crazy. Mm-hmm. Or I can get up, I can walk out the door, I can go for a walk, I can lift some weights, I can do something just to get physical, not have my body sitting still and my mind running. Anytime our body's sitting still, our mind's running.
Absolutely.
So we need to get up, we need to get
And it's
physical.
playing old tapes.
Right.
It's not playing new ones.
And it's playing the trailers. It's not playing the whole movie.
Exactly. But it doesn't have to be anything exorbitant. It can just get up and walk outside, walk around for a little bit. You don't have to go on a marathon. You don't have to sign up for a triathlon. You don't have to go sit in the gym and pump iron for 30 minutes, and do cardio No, just get up and move. Move around, change your area, your environment, your location.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in the house and this is the house that I used to do dope in, by God, walk outside.
Mm-hmm.
Walk outside and then start some mindful practices. Notice the air around you, notice the temperature around you, notice how many blooming trees you got. We used to do the trail rides at Treehouse, and I'd send the folks out on the horses, and when they'd come back, I'd ask them, how many red trees did you see? Because we had some red buds out there. How many red trees? Oh, I don't know. How many birds did you notice? There weren't any birds. Really? How many rocks did you pass? Big rocks, bigger than what you could pick up. I didn't see any. Okay. We're going to do a practice in mindfulness. You're going to ride that trail again, and you're going to notice how many flowering plants do you see? How many birds fly in front of you? How many trees do you see? What's blooming? What's dormant right now? Just be mindful of your surroundings. And when they came back, it was an hour and a half
Of them
just,
telling.
yes, of what they noticed. We just got to be mindful of the things around us, and that helps take our brain off that negative loop
Mm-hmm.
that it gets stuck in. You don't have to go join a gym. I'm not saying that it's not good to go join it. You can if you want to, but just in that moment, those endorphins change our way of thinking. And you can get endorphins going by doing something simple as walking to the end of the driveway and back. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Just a stroll.
Yeah.
That gets the endorphins going, and that makes you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
People come into treatment, and since we have the gym and all the equipment and everything, they start playing around with, working out. But then when they go home, do they do anything to foster that?
Right.
Not normally.
That's what matters. If you're not gonna do it at home, doing it here, yeah, you want to get back in shape. You want to
Sure.
get your body feeling better again, okay? But you gotta take it home with you.
Sure.
Gotta take it
You got to
home.
put the remote down and put the tennis shoes on
Yeah.
and just go take a walk.
Amen. Amen. All right, let's talk about micro obedience. This one definitely stood
I
out
like that one.
to both of us. You don't need to fix your whole life today. You need to do one right thing.
But we're such a microwave society. It's my recovery and I want it now. J.G. Wentworth, we want instant. That's the way we've conditioned ourselves. I was out, I tell this story to the clients back in I'm not even going to tell y'all that, but
Back then, the 1900s.
the 1900s, Ennis got its first Pizza Hut, and that was just the biggest deal. Well, we lived on, a cattle ranch out. It
Yeah.
was like a long time to get to town and a long time to get back home. So if you ordered a pizza from Pizza Hut, it was going to be almost 3 hours. And at that time, we were just so waiting in anticipation, and that was the best darn pizza I'd ever eaten in my life. Fast forward to probably about 10, 15 years ago, I was out mowing the yard and I realized I hadn't stopped and ate and I was hungry. So I walked in and opened the freezer and I pulled out the Red Baron French bread microwave pizzas that are so good and so nasty for you. And I flipped it over and read on the back of the box, and it said microwave on high for 3.5 minutes. And I heard my brain, are you kidding me? 3.5 minutes? No. And I threw it back in the freezer and grabbed a piece of bread and walked off.
Too long.
We're conditioned to have that instant gratification. Recovery is a journey. Recovery is a process, and it's the beauty in the journey that we're going to be able to look back on, a couple years, 10 years, 20 years from now, when we're clean and sober, and see the beauty in that journey. But right now, while we're in it, that's hard because we want it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we want our family to understand, look, I haven't drank for 15 days. You need to get off my ass.
Yeah.
That's not the process for them. It's not the process for us.
Yeah.
But if we start doing the next right thing, micro obedience, if we start doing just the next right thing, the next right thing starts happening. The clients that are in IOP right now, that's one of the things that they bring up quite often. I'm kind of amazed that I'm doing this and I'm doing that and this is happening. If you do the next right thing starts happening.
Yeah.
But if you abandon every tool that you pick up while you're here, it's up to chance whether you're gonna keep it going or not.
Mm.
And that's just a bet that I don't want to make.
Right. Yeah. That's a dumb bet.
Yeah.
Dumb bet. Yeah. Micro obedience. You ain't got to fix it all today. Just do the
Mm-mm.
next right thing. One call, one prayer, one meeting, one honest conversation. One honest conversation with yourself, not even another person sometimes. But
Well, and that kind of works into that encouragement and call to action. Um, I need those people that I can use as a sounding board. You know as well as I do, when we were at Treehouse, Jersey would tell us, if you need to come in my office and rant, just let me know you're ranting.
yeah,
Because he's a fixer. If you take a problem, he's going to tell you 19 things you need to do or do differently. But if you let him know you're just ranting, then he says, close the door, and you go off. I went off, and he just said, look, are you done? Do you feel better? Okay, get out of my office. We need those people that we can use as a sounding board. We need that accountability, those accountability partners that we can call and say, hey, I'm struggling. I don't know how many they do 12-step recovery in here. We do 12-step recovery in here, but we premise it under peer led, because the biggest excuse that I hear is, oh, I can't go to those meetings. Well, you were doing them in here. Why can't you go?
mm-hmm.
And that's the only way to foster that community of like-minded people. People who have been down our path, people that know where we're at, where we're going, people that know what we're struggling with. That's how you build that community, is going to those meetings. So finding an AA, an NA, a DAA, a CR, a whatever,
Mm-hmm.
to build that community, because that's our human need. Our primal need is connection. But then we think we're going to be a big cowboy and get out here and do this on our own. If we could do it on our own, we would have already done it
Right.
years ago.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to live in addiction.
Right.
But then the other thing that I have on here is, see, what is that shame and guilt benefiting you?
Mm-hmm.
We love, for some reason, maybe it's just habit, to live in a dialogue of shame and guilt. Things I could have done better, things I should have done this way, things I screwed up. We love to live in that dialogue. No man is rich enough to buy back his past. And I tell the clients, you don't own a DeLorean and there is no flux capacitor. You ain't going back to change nothing.
That's right.
So it's a call to action for today and moving forward and building a healthy community, finding accountability partners that I can just call and fuss and bitch and moan at, and they're going to say, okay, are you done? And pull in reality for me. It's having those tools in place that actually work, that I'll actually do on a daily. So it's not the antibiotic effect. I don't quit when I feel better. And that to me is the call to action. Whatever you do, when we find something that works, by God, wear it out.
Yeah.
Wear it out.
Yeah. Don't stop.
Mm-mm.
Don't quit. Well, thank you, Laura. That was a good conversation.
Oh no, that was all over the place again.
Oh, it was good. A lot of good advice, a lot of good knowledge. If you're hearing this today and you're struggling, let me talk to my little camera right here. If you're hearing this and you're struggling today, reach out to us. We talked about all these tools. Hidden Oaks is a great place to start building that tool bag. Reach out to us. If you know somebody fighting with addiction, share this episode with them. Share this podcast with them. And we hope to see y'all on the next one. Okay? Peace out.